Alright, I've moved my recording setup to a new area, so hopefully this fixes some of the audio issues I've been having. The mixing has been redone, so hopefully the game volume and my volume is properly adjusted. Let me know if it's not though, that always helps, your feedback. But today, the deck we're playing is going to be Blue Prison. We're going to get mean, we're going to get blue, and we're going to have a good time. Our opponents, maybe not so much, but we will see. This is a deck that revolves around a few big lock pieces that we have in Arena that really hope that we can shut down a cone of our opponent's attack. If we can make it so that they don't have very many avenues to actually kill us, then we can play an extremely slow game and eventually win. And so this very, very slow game starts from the beginning where we have a few lock pieces that we want to put into play. We have 4 Harbinger of the Seas. This turns all of ours and our opponent's non-basic lands into islands, which is hopefully going to be good for us. We also have Spreading Seas, a card that doesn't see very much timeless play, except in decks like this, where we can turn every type of land into an island, even basics. So we can take our opponent off of their colored mana, potentially with an early Spreading Seas. That'll be something to watch out for. And then after these early plays, hopefully we'll get to a point where our opponent either has deployed what few actual threats that they have, and we can deal with those, and then we can slam something like a Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void is really good to get out early. This can shut down a lot of impactful 1 and 2 drops, even something more if the game goes very long. Maybe we turn off Show and Tells at some point and Omni Show can't do its thing. But for the most part, this is going to be good for taking out opponents' Bowmasters and anything in that red-white energy aggro shell. So around these lock pieces, we have a lot of control elements. We're running Toxic Deluge and the recently added to Arena Damnation. Just 3 effects of board wipes. We don't really need much more than that. Hopefully we are not going to need more than just some targeted removal here and there. But in terms of that removal, we have Shieldred's Edict, Bowmasters for pings. We have Fatal Pushes as well. So we should be decently well equipped to take out our opponent's things. Also, to that effect, we do have 1 Commandeer here, which for the low cost of 2 blue cards, of which we play a decent amount, not a whole lot, but a decent amount, we will be able to gain control of a non-creature spell, whether or not this is a counter spell, a big opponent planeswalker, something like that. This might be something that comes up eventually. So that takes care of our lock pieces, our removal. Now let's look at the rest of the things that this deck has to do. A lot of these remaining pieces are going to have to do with like forwarding our own game plan. So you're going to see our 2 only Dark Rituals, just because I had to make some cuts that can accelerate us into the One Ring, Karn, Shieldred, all these things that are going to take us deep into the late game. We have Brainstorm as well, just because that's a decent timeless card. Snapcaster Mage to reuse all of these different elements that we've talked about so far. Mana Drain operates both as counter magic and as ramp. If we can Mana Drain something on turn 2 or so, that can mean an early turn 3 One Ring or Karn into something else down the line. We also have Demonic Tutor that helps us set up things. And then, of course, it wouldn't be blue-black without Psychic Frog, the terror of the Legacy format at the current moment, and still pretty darn good in Timeless. This thing will hopefully be connecting, will hopefully be our win condition in a lot of situations. And overall, I think that rounds everything out. In the land space, we're running just the Lochthwain and Vantress as our utility lands. Otherwise, it's just Polluted Delta for Grave or Undercity Sewers. This is Blue Prison. I hope that it is going to be a fun time. Obviously, it's not actually Blue Prison, but this started out as a mono blue build. But it became very apparent that the acceleration that we get out of Dark Ritual and the strength of Psychic Frog does make this a little bit better. So maybe I should be calling this Dimir Prison, but I like the idea of Blue Prison with Harbinger of the Seas and Spreading Seas a little bit better. So let's hop into these games and have a good deck tech today. Hope you guys enjoy. This episode of Full Control MTG is brought to you by Patreon and your viewership. If you want to support the channel financially, the Full Control MTG Patreon is the best place to do so. With a Shockland tier, you get access to videos as soon as they are recorded and edited. Don't wait to get your hands on another Full Control MTG deck list. Otherwise, it's your support for the channel that keeps me going. Thanks for being here and enjoy the video. Alright, we start round 1 here with a early Chalice. We can Chalice on 1 right away. We can also deploy our own Bowmasters and then Chalice on 2 on turn 3, I guess. Opponent has mulliganed. We also get to hold that Mana Drain into a Karn. I mean, this is everything that this deck would like to do. So we will keep. Yorion Sky Nomad makes me a little bit worried for what they're going to end up playing early here. I could hold up Bowmasters through Dark Ritual for a Brainstorm, but I think I'm going to play a little bit slower. We have Commandeer here, but not 2 blue cards, so we'll mill that one over. Let opponent wonder what the hell we're doing. And then Chalice on 0 is not the move here. I think their permanents are going to be much more expensive than that if they're going to try to blink them with Yorion. Now the question is this a Yorion forward game plan or something else? We see Arboreal Grazer here. This could mean either ramp or it could mean natural order possibly. I think we're going to hold up Mana Drain here. We can also hold up Bowmasters. Let's see if they decide to do anything here. It is possible that they go natural order here. It's going to actually just be a Birds of Paradise, so it looks like they're charging up for something large. I can take out a Bop right now if I just shock here, so I think I'll do that. We'll see if they have Mana Drain of their own. If they do, so be it. See if this guy resolves. It does very quickly, so it looks like they don't have much counter magic on that side. No mana for Bowmasters of their own here. We also find Psychic Frog here, which is pretty nice. Now, Psychic Frog could go now, it could go later. We can also hold Mana Drain one more turn. I think I like the idea of holding Mana Drain one more turn. Then we can shock Watery Grave, play Psychic Frog, and hold up Mana Drain. We have an avenue for attack here since they don't have a Bowmasters of their own. Probably they make a block. I'll see if they shock anything in or flash anything in, that is. And expected blocks. And looks like they're just going to pass through. That's interesting. We will take a slow path to victory if we can. I will shock here. We'll go Psychic Frog and see if we can get this guy going. It's pretty important to resolve a Psychic Frog as soon as possible. And we'll get it. That's nice. We'll continue with our same attacks here. They now do have mana for something at instant speed. Looks like we're still going to get this pass. It now appears to me that Mana Drain is going to be extremely important for us to hold up here. Mana Confluence suggests a lot of colors. We've also seen only green so far, and their green sources are non-basic lands. So we'll continue holding. And we just want to rip out the next big spell that they start to play. Really just waiting on them to make a play here. They've been rather slow. Still thinking about it. The play is Plains here. They will turn on their World Tree here. Now, it would really be nice to get that Harbinger of the Seas in. We'll see if it can happen. So, do I want to discard the Psychic Frog to get it through? I think the answer is most likely yes. I can discard one of the Chalices. We don't know what our opponent is doing. We just know that we want to make sure that they can't play around Mana Drain. So we will activate Frog once. Let's actually get rid of one of the Chalices, though it's not like we're playing a Belcher deck and need this extra Dark Ritual mana. Maybe we will get rid of that instead. So now Frog can do its thing. We will exile our remaining 3 cards from the graveyard. Don't need those. And we'll hopefully be getting a card draw here. See something now. Leyline Binding, potential interesting card here. That is going to be Leyline Binding. We will take the Mana Drain here. This means that we can Karn. Okay, and cool. Looks like our control elements are going to come through here, and we will take round 1. No Harbinger, no Spreading Seas, but we have 4 more rounds to get those onto the battlefield. All right, let's go. We have the island producing hand right here. Let's hope my opponent is on non-basics. All right, they're mulliganing aggressively, which is a very, very good sign. And hey, a win is a win. Let's requeue into round 2 real quick. Hopefully that won't add too much queue time. Yeah, I mean, you know, while that was a very early concession, this is the kind of deck that really wants our opponent to be mulliganing like that. So if they had actually kept a hand of 5 here, that would have been very, very good for us because it gives our spreading seas the most utility. So I'll keep that one in the recording for sure. We'll have another game here though for round 2. This one's a much more spread out hand here, and I think that in most situations I like it. Brainstorm does need to find us black mana, but it should be possible. Watery Grave, no Thoughtseize, but it's another Goyf. We have Polluted Delta. We can Fatal Push that. We'll wait a turn though. We'll Brainstorm and then put some stuff away, probably at least the Karn. All right, so what is the play here? They can try to fill up that graveyard with another Goyf. They'll go Psychic Frog. So I think now that's what I want to be putting my Fatal Push into. I will set up a Brainstorm. We know we're safe of Bowmasters, and I think the card needs to go. We're looking for other removal. Harbinger of the Seas coming down will be pretty solid. My Polluted Delta could go fetch black if I really want to be smart about it. Then yeah, turn 3 could just be Harbinger of the Seas. Make them deal with that. We put back a Karn, and then we draw the One Ring. Actually, for now, well, you know, maybe we can just hold on to that Karn. I like the idea of doing this. We have more cards in hand than them, so this Psychic Frog means that their Psychic Frog can't attack. Unless they have removal in hand, then their Psychic Frog do be getting through. Next turn we can go another Frog and Fatal Push if they remove mine. They'll get a card, which kind of puts them even with me, which is awkward. Alright, have to avoid them finding Fatal Push or other removal here. And I'm definitely prepared to drop most of my hand on a Psychic Frog fight here. They have to kind of they kind of need to understand that we have more cards in hand than them. This Thoughtseize brings everyone down by 1 card, so it doesn't do much for the Psychic Frog battle. I think they take my Fatal Push. Unless they're really worried about Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, sure. And I definitely block the Psychic Frog. I am here to fight as much as they would like to fight. Alright. We will activate our Psychic Frog. Let's discard the Castle Vantress. Next card will be the One Ring, I think. Like, if they want to just make us both Hellbent, that's fine. We will continue to discard, and we'll go Hellbent if they force us to. And like, we can still deal with this Nether Goyf. Alright, get rid of Polluted Delta here. And then I have to decide other Psychic Frog or Fatal Push. I think I'm going to keep my Psychic Frog. Alright. And actually, you know what? I do need to dump my whole hand in order to be bigger than them. So we'll be bigger with both another Goyf and with my remaining Psychic Frog. Boom. Alright, taking 4 damage is really not so bad there. We have Karn now. We're winning this race, more importantly. So I will attack here, start to get some card advantage. Any removal would be a great draw. Chalice on 1. How do we feel about that? That takes out Fatal Push and Thoughtseize. I'm in. Yeah, all right. Opponent can't beat the top deck battle here. So that is basically just a really good illustration of the Psychic Frog v Psychic Frog battle. That, at least not so much in Timeless, but definitely in like Legacy and stuff like that, things are kind of boiling down to. You really just need to like win those Psychic Frog fights if you expect to like play a longer game. Because once we ended that turn with the only Psychic Frog on the battlefield, we draw a card every turn. Their Netherglyph attack doesn't matter because we're already bigger than it and we win the race. Yeah, it's a Psychic Frog summer. Or I guess it's fall now. But Psychic Frog fall maybe? I don't know. With that being said, that was a good round 2. Let's move to round 3. Alright, we have all these blue cards in the deck that need to be played. And they haven't really come out just yet. We have Lurrus. This mana drain is probably a little bit less good. This Toxic Deluge is probably better. I'll keep this hand and hopefully Harbinger of the Seas can come out eventually. We can wait to see their first play and then fetch away whatever we put on top with Brainstorm. Slow play. Am I brainstorming now? I don't think I need to brainstorm. I'll just take a Surveil. We'll play slow. Don't need another Karn. Bowmasters is really nice here, so holding that up feels good. If opponent gives us some 4-mana spell, it could be good to play a Karn. I think I go to my turn. We'll take the Surveil, though. Now my Surveil is just me looking for lands. They also Brainstorm. That is awkward for me because I would have liked to play a Bowmasters. It's fine. And you know what? Maybe I will protect my Brainstorm as well, seeing as that this is a blue-white or blue-black mirror. All right, we'll also Brainstorm here. And what don't I need? So they are potentially blown out by a Harbinger of the Seas. Commandeer is actually online, though, which is crazy. We'll put Shieldred back, and we'll draw Commandeer. Oh, wait, no, we have a shuffle coming, so this is fine. I probably would have wanted to shuffle the Harbinger, but Commandeer is like also a good one. And then we will Surveil here. We have Bowmasters held up now. Resolve. They have a Polluted Delta to also resolve. Now, do I want Shieldred's Edict? I think I want lands more. Lands are more important in this matchup. They have an Archive Trap here, so this is Mill. Lurrus, Mill. So this Harbinger of the Seas maybe then doesn't really matter so much. I think we're better with a Mana Drain into Karn. Yeah, we play Mana Drain into Karn or we do Bowmasters. This can enter tapped. If we find another land, then we're happy to hold up Mana Drain and Bowmasters. If we use one of them this turn, then Harbinger of the Seas is a good play. All right, we want something juicy here. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is pretty juicy. So we can go Harbinger of the Seas and Bowmasters. We also have a land here. We have 7 mana to work with. We can Karn Liquimetal Coating them, which is pretty good. We have 32 cards left in library. I think I do like that idea. All right, let's do this. Make them have to deal with our other play. I guess I didn't really talk about the sideboard, but it is basically just all this Karn stuff. Liquimetal Coating being one of the large ones. In our opponent's upkeep, we will take them off of half of their mana here. And then next turn, we just go Harbinger of the Seas. They'll go for a Brainstorm in their upkeep. Nice. I wonder what their black mana is for. Did we ever see any of it? Maybe Thoughtseize, I guess. Oh, it's just Glimpse the Unthinkable, sure. So, Psychic Frog, pretty good. We're going to start taking them off of their colors. And I think I just want to go Bowmaster Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog can just dump the hand and start to go to work. Bowmasters will punish them for a Brainstorm if they decide to do that. And then we'll just avoid archive trapping ourselves pretty soon. Glimpse the Unthinkable. It's going to have to happen. Puts us down to 11 cards in deck. This was going to be a tough one. But hopefully they'll be off of being able to cast any spells next turn. Ping opponent. And move to my turn. We go Liquid Metal Coating on this. Karn Plus. I think we have the kill eventually. Snapcaster Mage gets me counter spell back, right? Yes, Mana Drain. So we just go in. We don't need to Harbinger the Seas here. We'll just slowly win this game. Watery Grave is also pretty solid. We'll pay 2 life just to flex a little bit here. And they do have this. We have Snapcaster to take out whatever they do. This is fine. Are they targeting something to kill? That would be a surprise. Fatal Push. We definitely allow the Fatal Push to happen. Okay, and then we'll move to our turn here. We can take a card for 5 life. We want to hold up Snapcaster Mage for sure, though. I think we can win without taking 5 life here. A Shieldred is huge. We'll look Metal Coating that Watery Grave and just continue the beats. We cannot Harbinger and then still Snapcaster Mage, so we have to pass. And once we take them to 0 mana, then I feel comfortable just going out. Cool. So now that they have 0 lands, we'll drop the Shieldred and then close this game out. Down to 7 cards, though. All right, here's a Shieldred. The shields are down if they can somehow do something for 1 mana. But it is now officially a 1-turn clock. All right, cool. So we're going to take round 3 against Mill. It kind of worked out. The Harbinger ended up not really being necessary. And yeah, I mean, you know, that is sometimes how it works. I would definitely say that if you can't get these sort of lock pieces out early, it is hard, especially in Timeless, to find usage for them. But it's a really good thing, though, then that we have the Psychic Frog to dump all these early game utility cards for value later. So I think we do have something pretty good going on here. I would like to get some games, though, where those early lock pieces can become a factor. Let's hop into round 4. Okay, here we go. Next round. A lot of Harbingers in this one. I don't think we can keep it. Still a lot of Harbingers, but this time we have Fatal Push to deal with our opponent's creatures, and hopefully Spreading Seas will set my opponent a little bit in the wrong direction. Surveil. We're going to drop the Harbinger. We need another land. Alright, hopefully they play not what they need here. Necropotence. Alright, well, we're going to have to turn one of their swamps into an island. I hope that that doesn't help them. They're probably on mono black. Oh, and we're just going straight for the kill here. Down to 3 life. So amazingly, they're not going for the March of Wretched Sorrow. They don't have the floating mana for it. So that means hopefully when I take their Spreading Seas, they can't play anything. And then they slow until I can deal 3 points of damage to them. Lots of cards here. Lots of cards go into the graveyard, more importantly. They'll take at least 1 land for next turn. But I wonder how they plan to get any of this life back, or if it even matters. This is a questionable play from them. I'm sure I'm about to be shown something amazing, though. There go all the Necro triggers. All right. Oh, it's a show and tell deck. Show and tell with Grizzlebrand. We are getting rid of some interesting cards here. So they don't really mind this spreading seas, it would appear. I think I'm still playing it though. What is the situation where they don't mind this? Maybe they only saw a swamp? But no, they definitely discarded lands of both colors, so they're going to be fine on colors. Maybe they do need this swamp. That could be interesting. So we're going to attempt this, see if we can upset them by turning that into an island. And now we have Bowmasters. That's great. So next turn we go Undercity Sewers into Bowmasters. Here it's now Wishclaw Talisman. All right, and so they are going to die pretty soon. I hope that this Bowmasters gets me there. Karn the Great Creator is good, but I don't think it's time. Is it? No, I need another land. I really want to keep that card and turn off Wishclaw Talisman, but not going to work. Okay. 1 black, 1 blue with Wishclaw Talisman that's likely to be activated this turn. Okay, so they use their blue-black land. Okay. Maybe they go Ritual into something. Yeah, it must be like Ritual Karn. Oh. Alright, well, that sure is crazy. So Shadow of Mortality. That's cool. They've got a 7/7 now, and they have 2 life. Oh, sacrifice. Okay, sure. Now what are we doing? Peer into the Abyss. And now I will Bowmasters you. That should be a kill. They have to counter Bowmasters or they die to their own Peer into the Abyss. Either from Bowmasters triggers or from the Peer into the Abyss trigger itself. All right, cool. We were able to make it work. Now, this was a really interesting deck that I want to take a look at. So I suppose that it was just Sacrifice, Shadow of Mortality, or what was their show and tell creature? It was Grizzlebrand, right? So they would have gone Grizzlebrand, draw a bunch of cards, Shadow of Mortality, draw a bunch of cards, and then what do they do with the card draw in the end of the situation? I don't really know. Either way, pretty cool deck, and props to the opponent for showing me something new. Here comes the next round. All right, let's go. Hoping that we can end this one strong. Dark Ritual into Bowmasters or Dark Ritual into Chalice. We have an option of 1 or 2. I'm going to play slow first until we can understand what our opponent's doing. And then I hope that we can start to lock them out. I mean, you'll definitely notice over the course of this video that it is hard to get some of these things started. This is a format that doesn't have City of Traders, any of these Soul Land type things. So we lack a lot of the ways to get ahead in colorless mana. Still, there's a reason to try. We'll end turn here. So we're looking potentially at Chalice on 2, but I'd really like to just counter something with Mana Drain first and maybe get a Karn out. So I'm going to likely just hold up Bowmasters / Mana Drain first. All right, this is what we like to see. Green-white, all right. What kind of green-white are we today? We are Enchantress. So Enchantress plays a lot of 2-drops. I am excited to potentially do something about that. We also have Sithis being something that plays very well into my Orcish Bowmasters. So maybe I think I go Sithis first, then Orcish Bowmasters. And then we hold up Mana Drain. to kill anything that kills Bowmasters. And then we drop the Chalice on 2, like on a later turn. I'll have 5 mana, then 6 mana. So we wait to see if they play an enchantment spell. And I could have a lot of mana next turn. Sterling Grove, I think this is a good one to counter. So we'll have 2 mana coming next turn. Let's make it so that they can't attack. Well, they could never really attack because of this 2/2 army. They can't play another spell here because we have Bowmasters, so good. We have Mana Drain. We have our Mana Drain mana. We have a land. And then I think we just go for Karn now. Still leaves me with Chalice for 2. But I can also show Liquid Metal Coating. Now, there's at least 12, maybe 16 cards in that deck that can't handle Chalice, so we're going to play the Chalice now. That does turn off my Liquid Metal Coating, but I'm going to wait until they destroy my Chalice, until that actually matters. My whole hand is turned off by this, but it's fine. Hopefully most of their deck is. And all right, we're going to finally get a lock piece kill. It was unfortunately the colorless lock piece, but we have seen all of the lock pieces in action at one point or another in this deck tech. Not all of them had the biggest effect, but these kind of lock pieces don't necessarily show with the biggest fanfare. With that being said, that brings us to the end of round 5. Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this mono blue prison deck. Mono blue in big air quotes here, as we were functionally Dimir. But yeah, if you enjoyed the deck tech, make sure to leave a like and comment. Those help me a lot. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as always, the deck list will be in the Moxfield link. Thanks for sticking around here, and I will see you in the next one.